I'm getting to a point where I can say and not get cut from the UFC. So before it's like, oh man, I wasn't good. I couldn't say because Dana White would be like, hey, go that white trash, get him out of here. But now, since I'm getting a little bit more like, you know, fan base, people want to watch me fight, I can say a lot more offensive, so it's nice.
Hey guys, welcome back to Athlete Central. Today we are going to talk about by far the most controversial fighter in UFC history, Sean Tarzan Strickland. The middleweight is in the prime of his career, and with that popularity comes a spotlight on everything that he says.
Izzy, I'll come over to you. We can watch anime. You can put some sauce on my ass. I'll do it with you. Let's go.
Now, his career inside the cage might be going well, but outside the cage, he is one of the most outspoken and controversial fighters there is. From over-the-top sparring sessions to disgusting comments about numerous topics, he has done it all. Today we are taking a look at what makes Sean Strickland hands down the most controversial fighter in UFC history. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Number 10. Traffic Incident. Now, we all hate altercations in traffic, and sometimes things might even get a bit heated, but Sean Strickland took a bit heated to a whole other level when he was involved in an incident back in March. He claims that the woman almost hit him, and then went after him to get his license plate. Since Sean's Twitter account is suspended, unfortunately we cannot show the video, but this is how the conversation went. Driver: you are the rudest person I've ever met. Strickland: do you have a boyfriend or son you can call over here? Driver: yeah, I do. He works for the government. He'd be really happy to get these license plates. Strickland: get the out of here. Off. Yeah, please do, you dumb. Sean then went on to make some misogynistic comments, saying that only a woman would do such a thing, and that if it had been a man, he would have dragged him out and beat him up. Safe to say, you do not want to get into an argument with Strickland when he is hot-headed. Number 9. Haters on social media. People deal with hate in different ways. Some choose to ignore it and be the bigger person, some report the messages to the particular social media platform, and others just respond to the hate in a reasonable manner. Sean Strickland falls into none of these categories, and instead of me talking about it, let's hear his thoughts from the man himself.
You know, I just stayed off Instagram because here's the thing about Instagram. You get all these little nutless little all they do is they come on my page, they talk, they run their mouth, and the moment I'm like, hey, come to my gym, I get banned. So the problem is we're trying to create a fied world. That's just the facts. You have the leftist organization trying to castrate all the men where you can't even hit a that deserves it. There's a lot of nutless men out there bringing the masculinity down. And here's the thing: if you talk, you should get hit. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Number 8. Hard sparring. This is something that many fighters have been accused of, so this is why it's not higher up on the list, but not often does the footage of these over-the-top sparring sessions get released. This one, including Sean Strickland, actually has been. Here, take a look. An unwritten rule in combat sports is to not talk about what goes on behind closed doors. But Strickland actually posted this clip of him knocking out his training partner with a head kick. Now, we don't know whether the coaches told the fighters to spar hard or not, but a head kick still seems a bit too much for a session with a teammate. Number 7. Pat Barry accusations. Usually, accusing someone of grooming without a plethora of evidence is considered more controversial, but the reason why this isn't higher on the list is that a lot of people have made those accusations on Pat Barry. The former UFC heavyweight is engaged to top UFC strawweight Rose Namajunas, who joined Pat's gym when she was 14. Left and met him 3 years later when she rejoined at 17 years of age. People accuse Barry of grooming Rose since she was underage when they met, and Rose claims that she knew Pat was going to be in her life forever when she met him. Sean accused Barry of being a predator, and Pat retaliated. Sean tweeted the following: "Here's the thing, guys, 99% of what I say is usually wrong. This is not that time. At Rose Namajunas. At the Aspen Lad. Like my post if you need help. I'll treat Pat Barry and Jim West like they treat minors, without consent, although it won't be behind closed doors. LMAO." Number 6. Dispute with Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree is a light heavyweight fighter who has had his fair share of ups and downs, from being considered a serious prospect to fighting unranked competition and being considered a gatekeeper. He is now on a 2-fight winning streak, and after his victory over Carl Roberson, detailed his mental health struggles, crying in his post-fight interview.
Your life matters.
Now Strickland, who used to train with Roundtree, and after this interview he tweeted, "Yeah, you're really special, a special little snowflake. This man is the definition of a PC beta male. You all would hate him. Seriously, being in the same room as him makes me cringe." Strickland also talked about their sparring sessions after the backlash the tweet received, with people saying Khalil would easily beat him up. Strickland said they sparred once and Roundtree proceeded to avoid him like the plague. Now make of that what you will, but going on a tirade against a former teammate is pretty strange if the goal is not to hype up a potential fight. Number 5, kicked out of school. Sean's childhood was quite tough. He grew up in an abusive household where his father constantly threatened his mother, and he said those were his earliest memories. This pushed him to a point where he would then act in a way that is considered horrifying for some people. Here, take a look.
Like, I was so angry. It's funny, I actually went through like this weird like neo-Nazi white supremacist phase when I was younger. I got kicked out of school for like hate crime, like all this crazy shit. But I was just like, I was so angry, and I had a lot of influences in my life that it felt so good to hate something, you know? Like I would walk down the street, you know, just with a knife or like a rock, hoping to kill somebody.
I mean, that's pretty messed up. A kid walking around and trying to instigate a fight to have the opportunity to murder somebody. Sean was kicked out of school for his neo-Nazi behavior, and that may have also had an impact on him. Number 4, dispute with Kevin Holland. It is not uncommon for fighters to have problems with each other in beef, but the origin of this altercation is unlike anything we've seen from a UFC fighter. Sean himself said that he texted UFC welterweight Kevin Holland and told him that he could have his way with him if they were locked in a jail cell together, to put it lightly. Obviously, Kevin didn't take kindly to that, and when he saw Strickland at the Performance Institute, here is what happened, through the perspective of both men.
No, I'm figuring that the UFC is going to do a welcome to jail card, and then me and Strickland are just going to lock it up like it's a real cage in a cell, and then we're going to see who takes whose butt. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, why not? Yeah. Well, seen him at the PI, you know what I mean? He had said some stuff online about murdering me or something like that if we ever had a fight. So when I seen him, you know what I mean? I just was checking his energy. He said I had my chest poked out, but as you guys see me on camera all the time, I have a bird chest. It's kind of hard to poke this thing out. So I walked up to the man, and I wasn't trying to say nothing to him. He was speaking to me like we were friends or something. I was just looking at him like he was fucking crazy. And then he said something stupid, so I probably said something stupid back. Little words got exchanged. He said something about going to the parking lot, but if I'm not mistaken, there's a full-blown octagon and a boxing ring upstairs, and we could easily make it a sparring session. That way the UFC doesn't lose money by somebody getting their head bashed in the parking lot. I'm just saying.
So anyways, I seen him at the PI the other day, and like, he's like popped out his chest, like, or like, come on, like trying to fight me. And I'm like, Kevin Holland, bro, you have my Instagram, dude. Like, we can't fight here. Edgar, my boy Edgar, the UFC guy with the abs, he's gonna break the shit up. We can't fight here. You gotta call me. We'll go to this parking lot and we'll do the man dance. The thing about Kevin Holland, you know, he doesn't know how to embrace his feelings. He doesn't know how to feel. He's scared of his feelings. So like, Kevin Holland's one of those guys who he sees me, he's scared of me. And it's fair. He's a very tall, scary black man. A part of him scares me. But I could look at him and say, Kevin Holland, you scare me. I'm okay with that. I allow myself to feel. I'm not scared of feelings, but I will still take you out in the parking lot and fight you to the death. And Kevin Holland, he's just not that way, because I was like, Kevin, listen, man, I don't need money. You just walk out these doors. Let's go. And he was like, I'm right here. I'm like, he's just being a he's just scared to feel. Kevin Holland, you call me, dude. We could talk about your feelings. I got you. Don't be scared.
Now you be the judge. Who do you think was in the right in this altercation? Let us know in the comments below. Number 3, politics. The only reason why Strickland's controversial political comments are not higher on this list is because a lot of fighters have expressed different political viewpoints and gotten slack for it. But Strickland's are another level of controversial. He slammed countries like Germany and England for having strict gun control, saying that even though they don't have gun-related incidents, they also don't have real men. Strickland himself owns a gun and thinks that they are vital for self-defense. We prefer not to share his more sensitive political comments. Number 2, homophobia. Strickland has made some contrasting comments about homosexuals, even though at times he said that he supports them and their choices, and says that most homosexuals that he knows are happy. However, he said that if his son was homosexual, he would think that he failed as a man to create such weakness. Sean has also expressed some transphobic comments, saying that while he supports the LGBTQ movement, he can't stand trans people, believing that it is a mental condition. We don't want to elaborate further since he had a pretty explicit rant about the topic, but you can understand what he meant, and these comments were a big reason as to why he was suspended from Twitter. Number 1. Homicidal Thoughts. The most controversial thing Strickland has done, though, has been expressing his desire to kill somebody in the octagon. Let's hear it from the man himself, shall we?
If you like to fucking hurt people, you're in the right sport, man. Like, I would love nothing more than to kill somebody in the ring. Nothing more. To make me super happy. I would own that shit, too. I don't know if it'd make me liable. I might have to say I'm sorry if the cops came, but I would own that shit. Own it, man. Be a psychopath. It's fucking fun.
Some years ago in the UFC, Frank Mir said this about Brock Lesnar, and it was so bad that the UFC actually made Mir apologize for his comments. That is why we haven't seen a lot of fighters express these views. His past opponent Hermanson said that these kind of comments only hurt the process of MMA legalization in countries where the sport is still illegal, like his home country of Norway. And that wraps up today's video about the most controversial fighter in UFC history, Sean Tarzan Strickland. Do you think he is the most controversial fighter? What is your favorite Sean Strickland fight? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching today's video, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to never miss a video. Until next time.